Hi teams, it's the first video for a wee while back, myself and Matt, to come and speak to you and give you an update on 4 particular things today. I'm going to talk to you a bit about the NHS recovery plan. Then I know, Matt, you've a bit to update the teams on about workforce. I think I'll come back and we'll talk about hypertension app and where is it, because I know we've had a couple of calls about that. And we've launched a new website, so we'll just give the team some background to it. So in the first topic I mentioned there, Matt, we're going to speak about the NHS recovery plan. Maybe you update the teams on some of the things you've picked out from that document that we'll be involved in.
Yeah, Harry, I think it was good in many ways. I mean, pharmacy and community pharmacy was, well documented in the primary care aspect of the recovery plan, and so that's a good thing. I think, some of the things in the next couple of years that we'll certainly be involved in is some of the stuff around discharging medicines. So there's some discharge initial work started in certainly in Glasgow, so we'll be looking to build on that. That's certainly one area that was in the recovery plan and was seen as community pharmacy being able to help with delayed discharge. We do know that colleagues in Wales, for example, have got a service up running as well. So we'll be looking, far and wide and actually working in Glasgow initially, and with Scottish Government to try and manage that and get that up and running in the next few years. I think the next bit as well, Harry, that I picked out was the Women's Health Plan. So we've got our sexual health service at the minute, and we're looking to move that on with bridging contraception being introduced in the next couple of months. There's a whole women's health, public health drive at the minute around a women's health service, and community pharmacy is seen as one of the areas where we can provide a more holistic service as part of that. So the EHC provision, the contraception is one part, but there's other parts, and we'll be working with women's health partners, public health, government, I suppose, to look at what a women's health service would look like. Things that were mentioned in the recovery plan are areas like menopause, and other things like that. So it's just having a more rounded service under the banner of women's health, which I thought was quite interesting. And the last bit is, building on pharmacy first again. So more PGDs. We're hoping to be able to almost put out a plan in the coming months so that actually you guys know what's coming. We can plan what's coming as well. But pharmacy first was still seen as one of the key services that community pharmacy can provide and support the wider NHS with. So we know from recent data that it's looking really good out there. The activity levels are good. The recording's really good. So actually, this is all helping get the right kind of feel around the service. The patients are obviously liking it, and it seems to be that the pharmacy teams are once again doing a great job delivering it. So we need to deliver and keep that momentum going with that, Harry.
No, I'd agree, Matt, and I think your point made about the activity is just tremendous. It's once again the network rising to a challenge and delivering tremendous patient care. So thanks again to all the teams for that. The figures are really good coming through in terms of our referral, our advice and our treatments, which is great. Just to give you some assurance when Matt's talking there about a plan, because if you do go through and read the recovery plan, it mentions a lots of stuff. I've made a note here about celiac disease pathways. We've got a gluten-free service. There's NHS Near Me, e-prescribing, e-dispensing. We need to tackle the drug-related deaths. There's early cancer detection, and I could go on. And it's to reassure the network that we've got our eye on this. This is not about throwing all of that at you, certainly not at one time. And we need to make sure this is sustainable and deliverable for you guys. So we're on that case. We hear your message about what's happening in terms of workload, etc. So we've got that in hand. And that probably takes me to a point, Matt, where we mentioned our second point about workforce, as I mentioned about keeping things going. And I know Community Pharmacy Scotland issued a press release yesterday around that. And probably useful just contextualising that for everybody, Matt.
Yeah, absolutely, Harry. I think it was in that point that you raised there around sustainability, and workforce is one of those areas that we need a sustainable workforce for all sectors, because I mentioned hospital pharmacy, and we've got the new growing sector, which is the primary care sector in the profession, and that's a good thing. And I think I've been on record as saying, the primary care pharmacists can be a real asset to community pharmacy in terms of allowing us to link in with GP practices in a different way, and having somebody from our own profession there's been an advocate for pharmacy is great. And there's a lot of factors around workforce that are at play at the minute, Harry. That is only one factor that the release really I suppose emphasised on, and as a network we need to reflect on why maybe people would find these roles more attractive. We're trying here at CPS to create that excitement, that buzz, that contract that allows IP skills to be used, that allows the services that you're talking about and I've been talking about already to be maximise it, and for that to be a place where people really want to practice and feel that excitement. But we do need to just manage that workforce, and that's all we're asking for is just a bit of planning, because actually until this point there's been no planning, and they're talking about another 2 or 3 years of this type of workforce shift, if you like, whether that be pharmacist or technician. And I think that does create pressures, there's no doubt about that. But actually we want certainly I want the pharmacist profession to be successful in all sectors, but actually we need to make sure that it doesn't imbalance the community pharmacy sector, so we can deliver exactly what we've been talking about already, Harry.
Yeah, it's a kind of taking stock, I think, Matt, is a way of putting
Absolutely.
it. Yeah. No, that's fine. In terms of, I think I was going to talk to you about hypertension and the hypertension app. We've had a couple of calls about this. If it's fair to say, Matt, we're not as far on as I had hoped we would be. We've run into a technical problem around getting one of the apps, particularly for Apple, I think in terms of the iOS devices, having that authorized and released in terms of public. So that's why you haven't heard as much in terms of the network. And I know I've got 207 of you waiting on your equipment and waiting to get really involved in this. I know it's certainly where we need to be in the future. And you just hang on with us. Once we get this authorized, I'm sure it will come relatively quickly. And then we'll be out in touch with you to get the data flowing, because I think it's somewhere we definitely need to be. So it's really just to reassure colleagues, Matt, you will hear from us soon. It's a technical glitch that we've got, not we have, but in terms of getting that app live, it's sitting ready in the background, but we just can't make it public for you at the minute. And we're disappointed about that, to be fair.
Yeah, no, absolutely, Harry. And I know that all the equipment's in Queen Street waiting to be distributed as well.
Yep.
We do have a few beta testers, as we call them. So I think it's 9 individuals kind of doing bits and pieces at the minute. But as you say, Harry, it's just been held up a bit. And it's absolutely a space we need to be in, a digital future. But yeah, we'll get there.
Aye. And talking about digital futures, this video will be the first one held on our new website, went live today. So network, please go in, have a play with the new website, see what it looks like. It's got a slightly different look and feel for you. And any comments about whether you like it or not, I'm sure you can put and get in touch via the video section that we're actually able to do, and any comments on this one.
Absolutely.
So we'd like to hear how that's going.
Absolutely. Any comments about liking it, please send that to me or Harry. Any comments about not liking it, please send that to Robbie.
Not at all.
In all seriousness, Harry, well done to Robbie and Graham, who've put a lot of work into getting the website up and running today for the network. But yeah, please do give them constructive feedback about it and what you like and what you don't like, and we'll see what we can do to make it the best it can be for you.
That's a good point to finish on, the best we can be for you. So we'll leave you at that, network, and we'll be back when we've got something to say.
Right.
Cheers now.
Bye.